Hope you guys are ready. When I first came to Egypt, when I first landed here, my first meal for the day was in McDonald's. Now, I walked into McDonald's and I stood in line. Little did I know there was no such thing as lines or queues here in Egypt. So there I was, standing in line, innocent young Malaysian from Malaysia. Now, as I was standing in line, it took them 30 minutes just to get my order. So in 30 minutes, this is what happened. So I was standing in line, I felt a tap on my shoulder. I turned behind. There she was. 6-foot tall Egyptian girl, brown eyes, fair nose. Everything was fair as well. Her eyelashes were long. Her free blonde hair was waving to me like that. And my heart started beating. My heart started beating and beating at the same time. And she looked at me, I looked at her. She looked at me, and I looked at her again. And she asked me, "Excuse me and my friends from over the table there, we're checking you out. So, we would like to know, what's your name?" So I told her, and she went and told them. I told her, "My name is Muhammad. What about yours? What's your name?" And she told me her name, which till this very day, I don't want to remember. I'll tell you why. Then she asked me a second question. "Muhammad, where are you from?" You know what it means in Arabic. So, I told her this. "Why don't you tell me where am I from? Why don't you guess my nationality?" She said, "Okay, give me a minute." She went back to her friends, and then she looked at me, she giggled with her friends. She looked at me, she giggled with her friends. She looked at me, she giggled with her friends. And finally she came back to me. She said, "Muhammad, can I ask you something?" Now, before I tell you what she said, my features have always been regarded as 5 things. Number one, a Pakistani. Number two, an Indian. Obvious, isn't it? Number 3, a Kashmiri. Number 4, a Bangladeshi. And finally, last but not least, a Malaysian. Sometimes, yes, Malaysian. But this is what the girl said. Are you guys ready? So she came up to me. "Muhammad, can I ask you something?" I said, "Go ahead." "Are you Japanese?" Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening, everyone. Now, I'm Mazlan Muhammad. In case you're wondering, what am I? I'm half Pakistani, I'm half Indian, and to top it all off, I'm Malaysian. That's what makes us very beautiful, isn't it? So, I have a friend, a very good friend of mine. He's an Egyptian boy, Omar. So every time I have a problem with Egypt, I will go to Omar and tell him about my problems. So Omar, one day, I'll go to Omar and tell Omar, "Why is the weather so hot nowadays? In Egypt, why is it so hot? It's exactly like India." Then the second day, I will go to Omar and I'll tell Omar, you know, the girls here are so hot. I can't even concentrate in my class sometimes looking at these Egyptian girls. Third day, I will go to Omar, you know, why are Arabs always fighting? Can't they just sit down and talk like us Malaysians? So Omar this, Omar that, Omar this, Omar that. Omar got fed up one day. So when I was talking to Omar, ranting to him, Omar stopped me. He grabbed me by the hand, looked me in the eye, touched my cheeks. And he said, "Muhammad, Mazlan, welcome to Egypt." And this is my topic for today, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Egypt. Now, whether coming to Egypt is a choice or it's a compromise for some of you, we can't deny that living in Egypt is not easy, because Egypt is a third world country. Well, it's compared to living in the United States or in UK, it's a first world country. Now, from the very first days of learning that asab and asal means 2 very different things. Gibna and kibda may sound the same, but actually when you eat them, they taste completely different from one another. And my personal favorite, the word ball. The word ball in the English language means a round circular object. Translate that to Arabic, you know what it means? Urine. So, language, these things play a part in our experience that we take back with us after 5 or 6 years. And the most important thing that we should take as Malaysians is that when we finally graduate after 6 years, we should not only graduate with just a certificate that says Dr. Mazlan Muhammad, degree in MBBCH, but we also should have another additional certificate that says degree or masters in the Arabic language. So here's my advice. Take some risk, embrace Egypt and learn Arabic. Now, fellow doctors, 8,000 kilometers, 13 hours, 250,000 ringgit. You guys know what I'm talking about? Some of you know. Some of you have no clue. Let me decipher this. 8,000 kilometers it takes you from Malaysia all the way to Egypt. 13 hours of flight and 250,000 Malaysian ringgit you spend on 6 years of education here. And in that flight, you know, the only thing that is going through your mind when you're sitting there is, I hope the food is good in this aeroplane. That's the only thing that's going through your mind right now. So when you come here, you spend 6 years here and to not mix with Arabs. Isn't that a waste? To just stay among the Malaysian society circle. To not expand to try and make international contacts. You're mixing with Middle East medical students. Why don't you take the risk? I have one quote that I like to put on Egyptians. Egyptians have a loud bark, but they don't bite. They might hit sometimes, but they don't bite. So, the next time you feel afraid to talk to an Egyptian, but you don't know where to start, take my advice. If you see an Egyptian, go to him, give him a hug, take him for a walk, and tell him about a new discovery we know, that all Malaysians are not Chinese. Hello doctors. Most of the time when we always go back to Malaysia, senior doctors will always intimidate us by saying, we are not hardcore enough. We are not strong enough to face the medical world. We are too weak. Why? Because Egypt does not prepare us. Ask them this one question. Have they been to Egypt? Have they seen what Egypt is like? Most of them will say no. You know why? We are the students. We are the ones studying here. So you ask us, is Egypt hardcore? Egypt is hardcore. The people are even hardcore. So don't tell us we are not hardcore doctors. Don't tell us it will make us hardcore doctors. Because by the end of 6 years, you will definitely become hardcore doctors. And this will improve your ability. This will make you strong enough to face the medical world. Now fellow doctors, before I end, Egypt and Malaysia are very two different countries. We cannot compare one to the other. We can say Malaysia is one of the best third world country. And Egypt is coming after us. They will reach if Malaysia don't progress. Now, we should not let these imperfections make us hate Egypt. But instead, we should embrace these imperfections. And if you don't know how to, take my advice. This is my advice to all of you. When you're going out with your friends, or when you're even spending some time alone, take some time to welcome yourself to Egypt. Just like how Omar welcomed me to Egypt. And when you're going out with your friends, and your friends have problems complaining to you, the weather is hot, the people are so rude, stop him, or stop her. Hold her hand, touch her cheeks, and tell her, or tell him, welcome to Egypt. And my final advice to all of you is that, the next time an Egyptian calls you a Chinese, think about my story. Think about what Mazlan told you today. Because being called a Chinese is nothing worse than being called a Japanese and looking like an Indian, looking like Amitabh Bachchan. Thank you everyone.